Hello, I'm Manan. I'm a fourth year illustration student at the Willem de Koning Academy, and I will be taking you through our online presentation today. So buckle up. If you would also like to watch the Dutch presentation, you're welcome to look that up on our YouTube channel, but this is the English one. When you apply to the Willem de Koning Academy, you will have to make a selection of a bachelor program. We offer bachelors in design, bachelors in fine arts, and a dual degree program. More specifically, for the Bachelor of Design, you can choose from a variety of majors, anything that interests you. We offer everything from advertising and beyond to audiovisual design to illustration to product design, spatial design, and some more. You could also do a Bachelor of Fine Arts, a Fine Art, or photography. And you could do a dual degree, which is a combination between VDKA and the Erasmus University to do two courses over the course of 5 years and graduate with two bachelor's degrees. But we will talk about that in a moment. And finally, you can also choose to do a bachelor Dutch because all of the previously mentioned ones are taught in English, but we do offer two Dutch language programs, the first being a Bachelor of Fine Art and Design teacher training, and the second one being a Bachelor of Leisure and Events Management. For the dual degree program, RASL stands for Rotterdam Arts and Science Lab, and here you can do a dual degree between VDKA and either the Erasmus University or the Erasmus University College. In combination, you can choose a major at VDKA alongside either the International Bachelor of Arts and Culture Studies or the Bachelor of Philosophy at Erasmus University. And the final option is a Bachelor of Liberal Arts and Sciences alongside a VDKA major at Erasmus University College. This is also a very fun possibility if you're interested in the creative but also academic side of your studies, though you can also just choose to do a major if you'd like that. In a major over the 4 year course, in your first 2 years, you obviously study your major. This is your choice. For example, illustration or product design. You will have projects, classes, teachers, and feedback related to this area of interest of yours. You will have to work in them. You will also have fellow illustrators, product designers, graphic designers working with you on them. But alongside a major focus study, you also have a period when you work on interdisciplinary projects. Here, you're combining your skill set with someone from a different major to make something new and to explore the possibilities of what different collaborations could bring. For example, I, an illustration student, could be paired up with a spatial design student to build something together and seeing how our different skills, working methods, possibilities, and areas of interest can come together is a great learning opportunity, not just as an illustrator, but as a creative in general. And if anything, that will also just help you down the line. All of this project making and working and exploration is facilitated by the stations that we have. These are our workspaces. We will talk about these more in a second, but um, these are the spaces that we're always welcome to go to work in, to use the resources of, and apply them within our majors to expand the boundaries of our majors. In your third year, you have a period where you have to make a choice between doing an internship or an exchange. In either case, doing something external outside the academy is quite valuable to your education career because it helps you understand how you could be a professional or also just bring in um, resources, educational resources from external sources. You can do an exchange at any collaborative university with Vidika. These are collaborations that we have around the world. For example, some popular locations are Tokyo, New York, London, all across Europe, the US, even like other locations in the US. You can look these up and see what interests you and do a course on an exchange that is related or quite different to your major, depending on what stage of your education you're in. Or you can also do an internship, which is more professional and work experience related anywhere in the world or somewhere close to the academy. But in an internship, you can choose to get more work experience and more hands-on um, possibilities of what you can do in the future after you graduate. In your final year, you have a period when you do a minor. This can be a minor within the academy or in any other university or hogeschool around the country. But this is a specialization that you would do and would like to do, especially towards the end of your study career. This can also lead you into after you graduate, but you can make a choice in something. The second part of your fourth year is the graduation project. Every year, the Koning Academy has a graduation show. Maybe you've attended some, but this is where all of the students that are graduating come together and set up a massive exposition of all of the work, all of the research, all of the progress that they have made over the graduation period and exhibit it for the public. It's quite wonderful, and it's essentially the outcome of your 4 year study career. We talked about the stations briefly, but more specifically, we have a wide variety of stations with a lot of different possibilities, mediums, and ways of working that you're always welcome to explore and use to experiment and expand the boundaries of your major. The interaction station, for example, is quite vital, especially in our current context, with more new age technology such as augmented reality, virtual reality, and different forms of digital interaction, and seeing how we can bring in some of these tools into the creative processes that we already have in place. The Image and Sound Station provides all sorts of possibilities of film and photography, everything from the equipment to the different possibilities of also developing film if you'd want to, and all of the other related aspects of film and photography. The publication station provides all sorts of printing solutions from very low tech to very high tech new age stuff. Everything from ancient techniques such as stone lithography printing to modern, very current and trendy printing solutions such as riso printing and everything in between. The material stations, the wood, metal, and ceramic stations at the Academy are extremely crucial to some of the majors, but again, are welcoming to all. And here you can explore more specifically different materials, how to work with them, the different possibilities of each material, and also how you can combine different materials together to see what you can come up with. Additionally, the fabric station, also an extension of the material stations, deals more specifically with fabric. All of the possibilities that it has from weaving, looming, felting, dyeing, sewing, and a bunch more. Even recycling fabric is quite a big part of the station that is now recommended and encouraged to be a part of. The drawing station, where a lot of illustrators hang out, is for all of your drawing needs. Everything that you would like to learn about drawing can be found and learned about over there. You can also get feedback from tutors. You can do a lot of experimental drawing techniques, have the resources, the space, and the feedback to explore drawing and image making as a whole for not just illustration, but anyone that's interested. The living station, one of our newer stations, um, explores a lot of biomaterials and a lot of organic compounds that can be made from organic waste, but also different forms of living organisms, for example, fungi or bacteria, and how we can use all of these organic materials to find alternative purposes and more sustainable solutions to real world problems, such as, for example, making bags or shoes out of fungi. Uh, a material that is more biodegradable, but also more sustainable to use compared to some fabrics. And finally, the research station, because creation cannot exist without research before it. Researching is a very vital part of our work processes here at VDKA, and we also encourage it a lot at the research station with a lot of resources on how to research, but also how to apply the research that you've done into what you're making. Because research is such a big part of our major, um, A big philosophy of the school is research by making. Here you are recommended and encouraged to fail. And as harsh as that sounds, research by making is the philosophy of doing and learning by iterating. When you have a concept and you start working on it, you will eventually run into things that don't work, but you will also run into things that do work. And research by making is about figuring out how you can make all of those things work, but also enhance the things that do already and learn from all of the different failures and checkpoints that you reach throughout the process of making. Additionally, some of the tutors at the research station also came together to come up with a book called Hands-on Research for Artists, Designers, and Educators. This is a framework of how to do research, but also how to apply research when making something that's used at our academy, but also internationally at other educational institutions, because it acts as a fundamental part of how we like to approach problems and how we like to deal with them in the real world as an institution, as a philosophy. For the admission process, if you're interested in applying, we have four major parts. The first one that is most crucial are the home assignments. You're going to have to do two of them. Um, the list of home assignments are on the website, and you have to choose 2 out of 6. The others you can also choose to do if you find interesting and add them to your portfolio. But the home assignments are most crucially assessed by the assessors because this is an even playing field for all applicants. This is an assignment you've been given by the academy, and we would love to see how you work, how you think, how you research, how you iterate, how you take a project from its start to its finish, and all of the different parts in between. And seeing that process is quite important to assessing your potential at the institution. For the portfolio, which is the second most important part of the application process, not everybody has an extensive portfolio because not all applicants have an extensive creative background before coming to the Willem de Kooning Academy. And so just put in everything that you have, and it's still important for the assessors to see how you work, what your interests are, what your process looks like, and all of the different creative outputs that you still have beyond just the home assignments. Um, but it doesn't have to be perfect to take the pressure away. The questionnaire and the video are the final parts of the admission process. Both of these are important to get to know you as a person beyond just the work that you've made. A little lower pressure, but still quite important to the admission process and just good to get to know you. When assessing, the assessors are looking for three things. The first specifically is the creative ability. For example, when you have a project that you're working on, how you explore the different possibilities of it creatively and how you find out the different ways in which it can be expressed or shown or explored are important in seeing how you work as a person, and how creative you are and how well you apply that into the work that you make. Additionally, with creativity, there's also the communicative ability that is important because no matter how creative you are, you still have to make for someone to look at. You still have to make something that other people will use, will interact with, and how well you're able to communicate the topics that you're working with, different functions of something to the other party is quite important. And being able to show that you have this already or that you can already pay attention to how you communicate is quite vital during the assessing process. And finally, context awareness is also important because understanding that you are in a context, in a world with other people, with other things, you have an impact on the world and the world has an impact on you is important because at the end of the day, that's the root of all sorts of creative processes. And knowing that you have a knack for it already is quite good. Before the application process, before you send in your home assignments, your portfolio, the questionnaire, the video, you must register on StudyLink and VDKA. You must do this for all bachelor programs, but do keep in mind it is different. There are different dates for non-EU applicants and EU applicants, just to make sure that everything is done in time for those that may need visas, and all of the administration processes. Keep track of these on the website, more specifically, but you must register before you actually send in your um, admission documents. For the admission deadline specifically, we host this in 3 rounds. Non-EU applicants can usually only submit in the first round, but there are 3 rounds for EU applicants. Please keep track of these on the website again, and best of luck. The sooner you do this, the better, because eventually you might be put on a waiting list if spots run out by the 3rd round, for example. Specifically for the Define Art program in the Bachelor of Arts, there is also a different set of deadlines. And if you're interested in this, I would recommend looking those up because there are limited spots for this program. And the sooner you do this, the better, because we would love to have you here. The tuition fees also for the next year can be seen here. This is set by the Dutch government, and it is different for Dutch/EU students and non-EU students. But keep track of the numbers and the amounts on the website and with further communication. Additionally, for the Razzle dual degree, there are also different tuition requirements because it is a combination of a different major and a different study at 2 institutions, but you can keep track of this and look for the exact amounts at razzle.nu. Finally, if you would also like to come visit us in person, not just online, we do have open days where we open the doors of the Institute and welcome in visitors to see what we get up to behind these walls, what we work on, what students do, the different projects, the explorations that take place, and all of the wonderful things, the magic that goes on here. You can keep track of the dates on our website, but also please do follow us on our Instagram, our YouTube, and the recruitments tab on the website so that you can sign up for tours in case you don't end up coming to an open day. But we would love to see you here in person. Come, explore, have a fun time.